Hi everyone, this is Mr Neel Raithatha, also known as the Wax Whisperer. Thank you for joining me in my latest video. This is of a patient who attended with bilateral blocked earwax, and we're commencing with their left ear. The patient is really struggling to hear. Their wife's not really happy with them as well, because she keeps reporting that he's ignoring her. They weren't sure if it was wax or not, but to his wife's relief, it was wax and he wasn't intentionally ignoring her. So we had a bit of a joke and a laugh about it. And you can see that this wax is quite soft and mushy. Patient's got an extremely bendy ear canal. So we're entering the ear here, and just to the left of the sucker, that's the second bend of the ear canal. So the ear canal is an S bend. We have a first bend about 1/2 centimetre into the ear canal, and the second bend a further 1/2 centimetre or centimetre deeper into the ear. And I've just instilled some olive oil medical grade ear spray. So the brand that I use, it's called Clear, and Clear are a UK based ear care products developer and manufacturer, and they recently appointed me as their healthcare advisor. So I must declare my conflict of interest there. But the reason why I decided to work as the healthcare advisor, they've got some really good products, and we are in the process of developing more, which is going to be great for our patients. And what the olive oil does, it just changes the consistency, and the Clear olive oil spray comes in a nozzle format, so it's easy to apply. And if you've been watching my channel and my videos for a while now, you know that I love my food analogies, and I always compare olive oil to an egg in a potato cake or fish cake recipe. It helps to bind the ingredients together, and in the case of earwax, if you've got very wet and dispersed and loose earwax and mushy earwax, it binds it together, and it therefore makes it easier to suction, so it comes out in bigger chunks. Despite me using the drops, and this is the second application, it's still quite tricky. You can see it's not coming away as yet in big chunks, although now at the moment on the back part of the ear canal it is. It was difficult, not only because the patient's got a very bendy ear as well and the consistency of the wax, but the patient's body posture. The patient leant forwards down, so the head was almost facing the floor, and it was just an age thing. Unfortunately, the patient wasn't able to keep the head completely upright, and it was also slightly angled towards their left side. So I was actually having to crouch around, and that's what you have to do when you do wax removal. You have to accommodate for the patient's body posture sometimes. But that's the great thing about the endoscope, because I'm viewing it off the screen. So even if my eye line is not directly in line with the ear, as long as I get the endoscope in and I can visualise the inside of the ear on the screen, I'm able to remove this. And again, you'll have a perspective here. I'm going in, veering to the right, and then back to the left. They've almost got this chicane. So I've just put some more drops for this last bit, and we're using the standard Zollner suction probe. You can see it just fits in. There's not much headroom there either side, so we're going to be careful. So just go around the bend. There's some wax just at the second bend. So this is the second bend now where I am, and the first bend's just out of view, but you might see it. So the first bend is just here. Well, you can just see those hairs. So that's a good indicator of the first bend, those hairs, just here where I am now. So you can see the ear canal veers to the right and then to the left. And the region in between the first and second bend, we call that the isthmus. That's the narrowest part of the ear. Quite often you can get wax is typically more, if you're having to remove wax, it's typically embedded past the second bend or in the isthmus region. So this is the same patient. This is their right ear. And again, this is extremely bendy and narrow ear. This wax, you can see it, some of it has managed to migrate out of the ear. So this is actually just past the first bend. And we're just going in now. On this side, you may see that the cartilage is kind of almost wobbling, and it's just the patient's head movement, and the cartilage is quite weak here. So as the patient's head's moving backwards and forwards, their ear, the cartilage was actually moving, it was bouncing a bit. I don't know if you can see that again. Again, it's quite sticky, mushy wax. I'm going to put some Clear olive oil spray. If you want to purchase some of this Clear olive oil ear spray, we only ship to the UK. The link is in the description, so follow the link and you can purchase that. And if you're a specialist and you want to stock the Clear olive oil ear spray and some other products that we've got, please visit our website. Again, the link's in the description. Select sign in at the top, and if you haven't already, register yourself as a professional, and that gives you access to our trade shop, trade prices. So again, the olive oil spray's really worked well. And so on the right, that's the second bend. So about 1 centimetre in. So anything past the second bend, we're on the bony part of the ear canal, so we've got to be careful. And this is the importance of knowing your ear anatomy when you perform earwax removal, because you've got all these different landmarks within the ear which tell us different things, and regions where we have to be a bit more cautious, other regions where we can apply a bit more pressure. Okay, despite using the olive oil, it has helped, but it's still quite mushy. So again, just going around the bends. This is just some wax. So this is on the what we call the posterior superior quadrant, and quite often at this part where I am now, the eardrum can be sucked inwards and it can create a pocket, and within that pocket you can get a bit of skin. So we need to just make sure this is not a cholesteatoma, which I'm sure it wasn't, but we've got to remove that because we don't know what's behind that, because behind that the eardrum, you can see it's not retracted, but it was hidden by that wax. And quite often, if it is sucked in, it's sucked in that same region, you get a buildup of keratin that can form into a cholesteatoma, which can be very, very dangerous for the patient. So I'm just hovering over the eardrum just to get these little bits and bobs out. You can see the eardrum just sucked into the sucker there. There's a bit of movement when we went onto the eardrum. Just hovering over the base of the ear canal. And I'm just here. This is just past the first bend, not quite at the second bend. And I'm just mopping up. You can just see the first bend there, just to the left. And that gives you a good idea of how bendy the ear canal is. You can't see the eardrum. We're having to navigate around the bends to visualise the eardrum. Patient's wife was really happy, as was the patient, because they could then now hear. So yeah, really pleased with that. I hope you enjoyed that video, guys, and you're all keeping well and safe. Do stay tuned. We've got loads more videos to upload in due course. Yeah, speak soon. Bye.